So this last week for Hack Week, I decided to work on the budget rates page, which I've been off and on working on for a while now. This week I decided I wanted to convert it from a Flux-based framework called Alt and convert it to Redux. Redux has promised to make it easier to understand the state of your application and write tests, etc., as it's more functional based. So while I didn't quite make functional parity, most of this is still working. You can edit rates, save them. Just a couple of stall holes that aren't there that were under Alt. So to show real quick the code, this is some old Alt-based store code. It's highly dependent on the class. Each method, interacts with a lot of the other pieces. It's very, very difficult to reason about and to actually understand why things are happening the way they are. So I removed this, got rid of all of that code, and moved to a simple Redux-based state, which is much simpler, as each modification only has to pay attention to a small amount of state and a small action. So each of these transitions are very, very simple, easy to understand, and much easier to test. So before there were 0 tests, now there are like infinity more tests. The last thing I did for Hack Week was we had a need to add auditing for our REST-based services. This was one of the big things that is left before we can start using rates in a production environment. So I was also able to do that. So what we have here is a audit log endpoint. We don't have a nice UI for it yet, but as you can see, it actually tracks what happened. So here we can see quick start, added a new rate and all the data about that rate, and then they modified another rate, and we can see the old and the new value of the rate that they modified. And this was built out generically enough such that we can use it for all of our REST services as we move forward. So that's it. Thanks.